Today, we're going to be building a simple app, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to compare 3 different AI models, some of the more popular ones, for doing a simple to-do app. Really easy. We're going to try it with Gemini. We're going to try it with Claude Code, and we're going to try it with Codex. So this is like comparing OpenAI versus Google versus Anthropic. I'm actually kind of excited. Who's going to win? I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out. We're definitely going to see. And it's going to be a simple app. So we're just going to get started. Actually, what we have to do is I have downloaded and installed the CLIs. They're good to go. What we need to do is come up with a prompt. And we also need to run the prompt in a fair way because I also want to benchmark how fast they are, which one's going to come in first. And also, what's the code quality, the overall quality? Is it going to be a good output and outcome? And if we throw it a curveball, which we're going to do, can it cope? Can it actually work? Actually, I don't know if it can or not. We're going to try it though. Here we go. So what we have here on the screen, we've got split windows. We've got Codex on the top, at the very top up here. At the top of the screen, we've got Codex. And then in the middle, we've got Gemini, which has a really pretty, logo, which is great. I like that. And the color scheme. And then at the very bottom, we have Claude. I'm expecting Claude to do a really good job in Gemini and OpenAI too, right? Codex can do a really good job. We're going to find out which one's going to be the best. I'm actually kind of excited for this. They're all really powerful. Now, of course, you're going to say, well, what about, the open source models like DeepSeek, or what about GPT OSS? Yeah, there's those. We can compare those later. I think it'd be more fun to compare those against each other rather than against the main AIs. But you know what? We could also do, that'll be for another time. We'll do it at a different time. There's also Grok, right? Which is X's or Elon Musk's AI version. And I don't think it's fair to compare that one immediately because it mostly is newer. I mean, well, it just came out more recently and it hasn't had enough time to catch up. So, hey, Jake baby, how's it going? We're going to compare the AIs. Which one's the best one? Which one do you think it is? Which one do you think is the best AI for writing software? Well, Claude Code's been really great for me, but we're going to try out different ones. We're going to try Codex, which is OpenAI. We're going to try Gemini. George, hey, can you sing a song? I could, not, but this is a coding channel for software engineering, computer science, and artificial intelligence. Jake baby, IDK. All right. Yeah, see, I'm not sure either. We're gonna try, and we're gonna throw them a curveball too. We're gonna say, hey, we're gonna have them build a to-do list, which is really the simple, like the help. Wait, are you talking about AI chatbot or something? Yeah, AI chatbot. So we've got here at the top of the screen here, we've got our 3 different AI models: OpenAI, Codex, Gemini, which is Google, and then at the very bottom is Claude, which is Anthropic. We're gonna compare all 3 of them. Who's gonna be the best? I think, I don't know. I think Claude's always done really good for me, so we're going to find out. But what we're going to do is we're going to run it to be fair, because I want to see how fast is it? Do they render quickly? Oh, is it Poly AI? Yeah, basically Poly AI. We're gonna see it firsthand. We're gonna see which one's going to come out on top. And this is I just upgraded everything, so everything's reinstalled. It's got all the latest CLIs and all the latest models. And that's for, September 1st. We're going to see which one's the best. I'm kind of excited. All right. So we have to create we have to come up with our prompt. So we're going to say, I think the prompt is going to be something like this. We'll say, so I'm trying to make a game. George. Yes. Okay, cool. A game is really good, and building it with AIs can be, also building games is one of the hardest things to do in computer science because it demands the most of the hardware on the machine. And there's just all right, here we go. We've got our prompt. I copied it. We're going to copy it again. So it's build a 2-step, use Python. But here we go. So we're going to say Codex -- full auto, right? AUTO. And then we're going to do that with Gemini too. But Gemini is different. So Gemini requires a different a parameter. Gemini. Here we go. Help. -- help. What is the command for Gemini that's equivalent to the full auto? I need to see what is the equivalent of full auto. Oh, YOLO. YOLO. There we go. That's definitely automatically accept all actions. I'm pretty sure YOLO is it. So let's see. We're hanging out today. We're going to play. We're going to compete. We're going to compare some of the top coding AI systems. We're playing with some AI today. We're going to compare them. We're going to compete, and we're going to throw them a curveball, which is Python. They have to use Python, and they're going to build an app that's traditionally requires you to build in a UI and some basic logic. Not Owen. Hey, how's it going? I hope all is well. Gemini underdog victory. Maybe it could be Gemini could come out on top. Absolutely. I'm actually because Gemini is on the top chart, so I expect maybe it could be, it could come out of the gates. In terms of what we're describing, so we've got 3 AIs. They're coding AIs. We're going to use the CLI versions for Codex, Gemini, and Claude. We're going to give them the same prompt, and we're going to have them go all at the same time, and we're going to see which one wins. We're going to compare how fast they go, and also what the quality is. 3 artificial intelligence coding agents, and we're going to compare them. We're going to make them fight. They're going to build a to-do app using Python, which is the curveball. Usually you'd probably use JavaScript and HTML for this, but source applications, yes. Here we go. So Gemini -- YOLO is the same. There we go. So, all right, now Claude, let's go. Yeah, let's go. All right, I'm really excited. All right, so we've got Gemini. We've got, let's see here. Here, there we go. All right. Codex is ready. Gemini is ready. We have to make Claude ready. So Claude -- help. I think it's called dangerously skip. We need to be able to dangerously skip. Here we go. Let's see here. It's in here. There it is. Perfect. Here we go. All right, we got it. You guys, we got it. You guys, here we go. So copy that Claude. Here we go. Boom. And then we need the prompt again. So we'll copy it up here and paste it. Oh, wait, no, paste. There we go. Didn't know Gemini called it YOLO. I know, neither did I. I thought that was really cool. Not Owen. Yeah, they called it YOLO. I mean, it's a cool. It totally makes sense. I like it. We're building some software today. Well, actually, the AIs are. We're going to have them compare. We're going to have them compete with each other. We're going to see which ones come out on top. I'm actually kind of excited. We actually have. We've got a plan for the video. It's going to happen. Here we go. Okay, we're ready. Are you guys ready? Are you ready, you guys? Here we go. This is it. We're going to press the enter button on all of these at the same-ish time. Around the same time. We're going to try it the best we can. We're going to move the cursor across each of these terminal windows. Here you go, guys. We're going to compete them. They're going to race. We're racing the AIs, the code generative AIs. These are the code generative. YOLO time, not Owen. Yep, here we go. All right, I'm going to press enter. I'm going to do it. Here we go. I'm going to try to do it as fast as possible. I'm just getting my keystrokes ready. Enter, 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 enter. Okay. Oops. See, I already misstroked. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to do it. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Done. All right. There. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Continue using API key. Oh, okay. Okay. It's working. Here we go. Oh, no. Unknown argument. Wait, did I do it wrong? Wait, we got to start over. We start over. I did it wrong. Hold on. I said -- YOLO. Okay, hold on a second. We need to figure out. Gemini is having issues. The ADK issue, which we can definitely solve. I want to figure out why Gemini is having issues. Maybe we can say just -Y. We'll just say -Y. I'm going to say Wolf. Hey, Wolves. Hey, hello there. Hey, how's it going? Wolves, it's good to see you. Welcome back to the stream. We're okay. See, here's the deal. Unknown argument. Okay. So the problem is that it's not. Maybe I need a -P or something. I might need a -P here. We might need a -P. Let's see, -P, and then we need a -P. Maybe let's try that. -P. 1 second. Cool, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. We -P enter. Go to end line over here. All right, let's see. Oh, wait, I gotta actually put a hyphen in there. Okay, let's see if it likes that better. I think Gemini is okay with this. I think Gemini likes this. Wait, okay, I'll start recreating a to-do file. Okay, perfect. Answer your question. What are we doing now? We are going to compare 3 of the mainstream most popular AI coding agents, the command line interfaces. We're going to have them go on full auto, and we're going to compare them. Which one comes out on top? Do you guys know? I think it could be Gemini or Claude. GPT-5 just came out, so Codex is supposed to be number one. But we're going to find out, and we're going to use just the default settings. Actually, Claude Sonnet has better thinking, chain of thought, pretty good spaces. Which one's going to win? All right, now I can get back to chat here really quick. All right, Benny. Hey, Benny, how's it going? Hello, bro. Please use Claude Code to code in my job, please. I want to ask. Did Gemini just fail? Yeah, Gemini just gave up. It just gave up. We'll have to go back to that one. But Gemini gave up. Should I proceed? We said YOLO. What we might have to do is do something different. But let's get into Gemini really quick. We're gonna 1 second. I have to pull this into Gemini. Okay, here we go. Gemini, we'll go into CLI mode. We'll go into text mode because it's having trouble. It's struggling. It's struggling right now. It's back in the race. Okay. We see Codex is doing amazing. It's doing really amazing right now. It's actually building code. Gemini was having trouble. Yes. It's in YOLO mode, so yes. All right. Gemini's having trouble with automation. Claude Code, the best coding agent that I will use on your code on your PC. I think so. We're going to find out. You guys, I think it just happened. Oh, wait. Okay, so we've got some issues here. Right test me. You want to add simple UI or Flask web UI next. What happened? Did they build them? I'm actually kind of curious. They all seem to be done. We're going to have to go in and compare now. We're going to compare them, see how good each of them did. Been using Copilot with OpenAI. This is a good combo when working on my project, but struggles keep track on the whole workspace flow. Yeah. Let's see here. Wolves, check on GCP. Yes, check on GCP, Google Cloud Platform. Google's the place. Claude is really good at finding things in files and around under 2,000 lines. Okay. Yeah, that's actually a good point. I haven't myself personally used Claude above 2,000 lines. So, but I have used it in really big projects, and it does do a really good job as long as you point it to the right file and where in the file you want it to make changes. Does anyone know how Claude is trained, or what sort of data is trained on? It's trained on, first off, all of the text in the world as a baseline, and then it's fine-tuned to do coding. So it's been fine-tuned for coding. So it's gone back and they've retrained it for coding tasks through probably reinforcement learning. Reinforcement training is what they've done. So yeah, that answers that question. So that was I want for fine-tuning. Yeah, that's all right. Let's look at the results. Let's jump back to it. Let's see what we got here. All right, we got a to-do app.py. Let's see here. And we got a to-do app.py here. Now, did we get it in Gemini? Did Gemini do it as well? And did they to-do app there? You guys, it worked. Okay. All three of them came back. One of them gave me a readie and a to-do.json, which probably saves the state of the to-do list, right? That would be Codex. Right out the gate, it seems like Codex has done a really good job. And then we look at Gemini, and it just gave a to-do.py. And then we have the same thing with Claude. And I see a PyCache in Claude's directory here. You can see PyCache at the bottom of the screen. That means that it actually ran. It ran the app to see if it works. Absolutely. So we're gonna open up each of these files separately, and we're gonna look at them and we're gonna compare them. Let's get to it. Let's look at these code. Vi-to-do. Let's see here. Vi-to-do.py. All right. So at the top of the screen we have Codex. In the middle we have Gemini. And then in the bottom, we have Claude. Here we go. Interesting. Okay, so kind of neat. The Gemini and Codex both have you can see here on the screen I highlighted, the user bin env, the Octothorpe bang. They both did this, and they used Python 3. Gemini didn't do that. That's kind of an interesting observation there. All right, so these are our libraries. Let's see, what we got our libraries here. Interesting, kind of interesting. Okay, so both had date time. This is the most interesting point here. Look at the import for Gemini. Look at this. This is very weird. What is Gemini doing? I mean, check this out. So we can see that Codex and Claude both have quite a bit. They have quite a bit of imports, right? But if you look at Gemini, it only has the system import. What is going on? This is crazy. That's completely unexpected. I was not expecting that. I'm kind of curious to see what runs. Okay, so it has a main, which is kind of cool. So at the bottom is probably if main. Yep. So Gemini makes sense. Then they're comparing Claude Code, Codex, OpenAI, and Gemini from Google. We're going to see which one's better. Ray Zilo, you're brilliant to show us live comparisons to check with AI's code development's better. I know, I'm really excited. It's kind of neat. So Gemini create a really, I'm liking Gemini's minimalism. Gemini has a really good minimal to-do app. It has no modules. It only imports sys, which I don't even know what it's used for. Sys.args for the args on the command line. And we can see how it works. It's really easy. It's just Python to-do.py, and then you can add a task, list a task, or remove a task. And it's really cool, isn't it? We'll continue down the path of evaluating the output from these AIs. And then we will have succeeded in our stream, and we will conclude. And so that's the plan. So we're almost there. We're almost there. So let's run Gemini, because I like Gemini. Let's do to-do, and we'll say add test. Okay, so we added a test. Let's do list. Let's list it. So we have a test list. Are you ready for the next? Yes, let's do it. A ton of context. Thank you, sir, for a valuable answer. Absolutely. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see. Let's do Codex next. Let's review Codex. All right, so we're gonna zoom in on Codex. We're gonna say let's close these windows here, and we'll do only Codex. Let's see here. Let's see. Nope. Let's get out of there. Okay. Next, close that. Okay, we're in Codex. So vi to-do.py. Here we go. Now we're in Codex. All right, let's just take a peek at here. It's got time. Interesting. It's got a database, which is JSON. I like that better. I like that it's JSON. I think that's kind of neat. Let's see. I'm kind of curious to see what the JSON is. Let's take a peek at the JSON. Oh, so it's a task. It's really kind of neat. It's got a next ID, memory. So it's a little bit more feature complete. So I would say Codex did a really good job comparing that to Gemini. Gemini gave us a really good, like, sort of baseline with no modules or no libraries or dependencies. And it was like it's basic and it was minimal. I thought that was really cool. I like that. But check this out. Codex is a little bit more detailed. This is cool. Check it out. Codex. It did a really good job. So I'm actually it can load the database, and then it can save the database. It can add a task. So in this case, there's some concurrency considerations here. You might have a problem potentially, depending on let's actually read through it. Are there any race conditions? What did it write? Hold on. Whoa, there's an undo. This is right. So Codex came up with a pretty complicated to do. This is neat. I kind of like this. I think it's pretty satisfying to see this. Parser. So it's got arg parser, and then it's gonna print it out. Okay, so main try main. Okay, let's run it. Let's see what it looks like when we run it. All right, we'll try it out. Let's go into Codex. We'll go into Codex. Here we go. Let's get rid of that. Here we go. All right. CD Codex. All right. Then we'll do Python to do. Let's see what it comes up with. .py. Here we go. Changing. Guess what? It's the opposite here. 1:35 a.m. You're definitely in India. That's definitely an I. Is it IS? No, that's because India always is off by 30 minutes, right? It's always got the extra half an hour. You always have that extra half an hour. It's always the case. It's definitely India. All right, so here it's going to give us instructions. So we're going to say add test. We'll say add test task. Here we go. Let's see if that works. Is that going to do it? We added a task. So let's open up our JSON file. What does that look like? It's in there. Okay. Test task. Is it completed? It's not completed. Yeah, so wait. Super intelligent. Something new came out, except this, bro. They are going to cook. Are they really? It's really going to be that impressive? Some super intelligence. That would be cool. You know what? It actually makes sense. Here's why it makes sense. Why Meta or Facebook would be the ones to do that. Because they're the ones that released PyTorch or libtorch, which is the C the C++ library that's based on PyTorch. It's the foundation for PyTorch, and it's the power which drives even OpenAI, right? OpenAI uses Meta's, which is Facebook's open source technology, to build AI software. They're the ones that came out with it. So doesn't it make sense that they would be the ones to also create superintelligence? Although I would think maybe Google would do that because they're the ones who came out with the transformer. Attention's all you need. That paper, the article that described how to build these AIs, these generative AIs. You have one and did everything about any tips. Why did AI chats got so popular? That's because they're so realistic, and they're really easy to talk to. I think Jake, I think that's the answer. They're just really easy to talk to. That's actually here. I'm happy with that. I think this evaluation is pretty neat. Codex even has some edit features, which is cool. I think that's really neat. So Codex did a really good job, I think. Codex did a great job. It had a lot of features. Gemini was the easiest to use, and it was the simplest. Well, I like AI chats, but not to talk to. Oh, what do you, Jake? Okay, Jake, what do you use? I suppose maybe what we all do, maybe instead of Googling something, you get the answer directly from the chatbots, or you use it to sort of help write certain tasks for you. Jake, what do you use AI chats for? If not just to talk to, right? What do you use it for? All right, let's check out our final one here. Let's go to Gemini. Let's go to Gemini. All right, let's take a look. Let's open up the to-do set. Okay, so Gemini also chose. Wait, no, we already did Gemini. What are we talking about? We want to go to Claude. We already did Gemini. We want to go to Claude. Let's go next. Here we go. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna review the code here in Claude really quick. There we go. It's interactive, which is neat. Claude Code did something completely different than all the other ones. It's done it completely different. Instead of it being a CLI based, it looks like it's an interactive based. Isn't this is interesting? Let's take a peek at how that looks. CD Claude. Here we go. So all we have to do is run Python to do app. And it's going to start in interactive mode. I got a question for you. Do you know the token count that each of them used? Oh, it's a good question. Yeah, I can give a hint. We can see Gemini was the least. Codex was the second, and then Claude was the most. Let's actually just look at the line. Let's look at the number of lines. 50. Yo, bro, how's it going? We're going really well. We just compared the AIs against each other. We figured out which ones are the best ones. And they all came back with something different, and they had actually some pretty compelling responses. And I'm actually pretty happy with them. I'm pretty excited with it. The AI should have done a switch statement. It absolutely should have. Let's try out Claude really quick. Let's see what it does. It's going to be interactive. Yep. See, we told you. Interactive. It should have been a switch statement, like Syed mentioned. But let's add to the to app, enter a task, test task. Here we go. And then let's list our tasks. 2. 1 task. Let's complete a task. 3. Oh, let's do number 1. Boom. Let's list them again. Ooh, wait. List. Here we go. Boom. Task completed. Okay. Blessed my God. Got it. It means blessed my God. Understandable. Got it. Makes sense, Syed. Okay. So we just finished comparing all 3 of the most prominent coding agents, command line based, Claude Code, Gemini, and Codex from OpenAI. They all did a great job. My favorite was Claude. Here's why. It provided the best user experience. It built an app that provides the best user experience. I would have to say Claude. So let's go to Escala really quick. All right, let's clear the screen here. We're going to reset the canvas. If you saw reset the canvas, here we go. Confirm. All right. So here we go. Say Claude versus Gemini versus Codex. Codex. Here, I'm going to award points here like this. Here we go. Or award a point, and then we want it to be, there we go. So I'm going to give the first point to Claude. We're going to do really quick before we go is we're going to vote. I'm going to apply my empirical and just overall sense of my favorite outcomes from each of these models. I'm going to say Claude wins in terms of its ability for its ease of use. So I'm going to say it was easy. So it gets a point. I'm going to say Gemini did a really good job, and it gets a point because it was the simplest. Simple. It did the best job in terms of simplicity. And then let's see the next one. Let's see. Let's take a look. So what was it? Who? Someone was not Owen. You asked me about the context size. So let's take a peek here. Let's do WC-L to do _pi. So there's 196 lines of code. Let's go to Codex. Let's see what Codex comes up with here. All right, so let's do WC-L and then the app. 230, so a few more, just a few more. And that was Codex. Let's see here. Let's go up to the top and let's close that. All right, so we have, let's do that again. All right, so Claude was 196. Codex was 230. Now, what was Gemini? Let's check out Gemini really quick. WC-L to do.pi. There we go. 60. Look at that. The simplicity also goes into that picture, but I do have to say because it came back, it did the job, it accomplished the goal, and it did it with the fewest tokens. So I have to say that Gemini gets another one because it's the fewest tokens. Few tokens. Here we go. Fewest. Right? Fewest tokens. So it wins a point there. And then, let's see. Would Codex get a point? I mean, I feel like Codex did okay. I like that they used the database with JSON, right? So there's a JSON database. Gemini used text database. Claude did JSON as well. And so they both, so I can't really award a point because they cancel each other out. But I also want to say my favorite result was Claude because of it has the best user experience. Codex, I feel like it's not it needs a point. It like deserves a point because it did a good job and it did it right away. Gemini actually should I need like a detractor. Let's do a detractor. Gemini had a problem. Let's change. It had a problem. It had an issue. It failed to automatically. So I'd say Gemini had a problem with some failed attempts. Claude did everything perfectly fine. And then also, I mean, I need to give a point to Codex because it also just worked. It worked easily. Just worked. And so did Claude, but I think Codex deserves a point here. So we have the results. Comparing the AIs. I liked Claude the best. Gemini had a detractor because it didn't do what I wanted it to do right away, but it also was the simplest and did the fewest tokens, so that was great. And then Codex did a really good job, Jake, but it was a lot of fun comparing Claude versus Gemini versus Codex, and I have to say they all worked. Gemini struggled a little bit, but it also gave the best output, in my opinion, in terms of simplicity with the fewest dependencies, and Claude gave the best user experience. Claude has like this nice fuzzy, fluffy aspect to it that really is user-friendly. They've added like a human touch to it more than any of the others. Like you get this human touch with Claude. Like that, I think they did a really good job with that. So we had a lot of fun. We compared all the models. Claude has to win in terms of my opinion from my favorite because it did a really good job. It did everything I wanted it to do. And it had the best user experience. It has the most human touch to it. So it did a really good job there. Even if the code it came out with wasn't like the best, it still worked and it did the job.